So,
Um, I'll skim through this to make sure there's no more questions we want to hit on. But as we're
Someone
wrapping up,
asked. They asked why or when do you choose? Let me find the question.
When do you choose SS3 blue yellow over Herdigarn blue yellow?
yeah, that's what I saw
And then
that.
he also asked. He furthered the question. He asked, why would you play SS3 blue yellow over Hyrule blue yellow? So I think that I can answer this. I think the correct
no
time to play
bias,
SS
no bias.
I'm trying not to be biased here, okay? So let me just say, I'll say it quickly. Hyrule Blue Yellow has a very high skill cap. It takes a while to learn. There's a lot of micro decisions going into every single decision you make. A lot of things that go into it, okay? So when you give the player base a week to learn it, they're not going to quite flesh out everything that needs to be done.
No, not even close.
Or you just don't play it at Philly because you can't afford Bardogs.
Or that, yeah, money could be a factor, etc., etc. But it's also SS3 is much more forgiving. It might not be as quick. It's not going to give you that guaranteed turn 2 kill, but it's much more forgiving in every little decision you make. You untap 3, you can just end your turn and just do it all again next turn. But the reason why you would choose blue yellow Hyrule over SS3 almost every time is because of consistency. And I want to say consistency auto wins, and not only the projected meta, but there was one last thing: consistency auto wins, and
it rewards you for being the better player.
Well, sure, yeah, auto wins. There's one specific point I wanted to make that it's over my head right now, but
that it's literally a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
No. Go ahead. It'll come back to me for sure.
Zapp, you were gonna talk about it, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, Welch kind of stole my thunder. He's being too unbiased. No, I'm glad. My perspective is I think you play SS3 if your goal is to top, or if your goal is to get a Q. I think if your goal is to win, you play blue yellow Hirudegarn. I think that SS3 has. So when we talk about skill ceilings and we talk about skill floors. We talk about
ceiling.
Right.
That's what I'm sorry.
Right.
The ceiling is much higher, and
yeah. So in case you don't know what those terms mean,
yeah.
So assuming you know how to play the deck well, you don't misplay. Your opponent doesn't misplay. Your skill floor is if I draw absolute garbage. If my SS3 flips off the top or black, how well can I recover from it? Your skill ceiling is if I could stack my deck and draw every card exactly when I wanted it. How powerful is my deck? I think when we're comparing these decks, I think Hirudegarn has a slightly lower floor and a much higher ceiling. Where I think SS3, the floor is actually it's probably marginally higher, but the ceiling is a lot smaller.
Much smaller, right?
Yeah,
right.
It has a higher floor because for Hirudegarn, there is no backup plan. There is no, like, I'm going to turn into, like, a defensive shell and stop myself from dying. It's like, I have to win the game in this window. Whereas, like, SS3 has the ability to... It has a higher floor because it has the ability to shift gears and play a defensive style until it can find a way to win. Right.
So if we look at my hand with the 3 fingers, and we pretend that the 3 fingers are skill floor of Hiru, or the floor of Hiru floor, how good your deck needs to be to get a Q or to top, and this is the skill ceiling of Hirudegarn. Where you need a Q, almost regardless of how well you do with SS3, you're gonna fall within that line. And so if your goal was to get the Q, then you get there. But if your goal was to win, there's a lot of headway you need to make here. But that headway, assuming you're playing well, means you're getting lucky with your matchups, and your opponent's getting unlucky. And those are things that, when they're out of your control, top players tend to veer away from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
SS3 will eventually just lose to itself, like you said.
Yeah.
4. Yeah. So, in Hirudegarn will just win doing what it does.
Right.
Okay. So go ahead.
No, your turn.
Oh, no, I was going to say, is there anybody else that has any questions? I don't know if we want to start wrapping it up here.
Yeah, we can wrap it down. I'll ask one last question because this is something that I really wanted. about. If everybody wanted to take a minute to say, given your strengths and given your weaknesses, what has being a part of this playtesting group allowed you to overcome? What kind of hindrances has it allowed you to work through? And what strengths have you found that you had that you didn't realize you had through being a part of this group? And any combination of those ideas. I'll talk about it for.
Well, okay, obviously, like, for me, my biggest weakness has always been I get in my own head. I've known that for a while. But, like, talking to you guys and just kind of, like, constantly keeping me grounded has been really helpful. And then, obviously, I have, some of my friends, like Andrew, as well, helping me keep grounded. Like, so for that, I'm very thankful because I've found more success because of that than I think I could have done on my own, for sure. As far as, like, I'm trying to think about things that I got, so, like, obviously, that helped the most. Like, that's the thing I definitely feel like I got stronger in, for sure. Just trying to figure out, like, what else, though, how else to answer the question. Somebody wants to take over, feel free.
So I've talked about this a little bit in the past, and Matt has also agreed with me. So we talked about how in June and how in July we playtested the hell out of the format, and we got really strong grasp of what decks were good, what decks beat what beat what. And so Matt's getting ready for Gen Con, and on Friday he's like, so I know blue-red is really, really good. I know we can't play blue-yellow yet. I posted blue-green 3 weeks ago on my Patreon, donated $1 to my Patreon, and I don't know. There's so many things out there, and I the format is so solved and resolved. I don't know which one to pick, so I'm going to go completely off track and go blue-yellow. What Matt didn't do when he made that decision on Friday is he didn't realize that the meta is so solved and all the good decks are out there was only in a circle of 4 people. Like, don't get me wrong, people were reading our content and people listening to us.
I'm so out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember when I saw that, I was like, I immediately sent him a text message. I was like, here's your 65 for tomorrow. Change nothing.
Exactly. So here's literally the process of how I came up with playing blue-red at Philly. So I had a friend that we borrowed Bardock's from a friend, and my friend Keith, we lent our Bardock's to him because he didn't know what he wanted to play. So I said, here, play blue-yellow Trunks, because you think Trunks is a cool league. And so he's testing it, and he's playing it subparly, and I'm like, I could be winning if I did that. And so I'm testing blue-red, and I sit down, and I'm like, okay, do I play blue-red, do I play blue-green, or do I play blue-yellow Trunks or Hero? Because I had access to all of them. And my thought process was, well, I could play blue-red, but blue-red loses to blue-yellow Rush. However, I can beat blue-yellow Rush if I resolve Chain Attack Xeno. And then I went, okay, I could play blue-yellow, but blue-yellow loses to Vegeta plus King Vegeta Surprise Attack. However, I could beat that if I play Yajirobe or Mafuba, and I can kill the Vegito. And then I went, well, I could play blue-green, but I lose to blue-red playing things like Frost. So how do I counter Frost? And I realized the answer was the Crusher Ball was your only real option there. So I sit there and I think to myself, and I'm like, okay, well, of all of those cards and all those counter cards within that big rotating door format, Chain Attack Xeno is the card that's already in the deck, and you have to run the least bad cards to counter your bad matchups. And that was my methodology for playing blue-red. Where in actuality, what everybody did is they went, oh, Danny, Colby, Matt, and I killed it at Gen Con. We don't have time to test Ultimate Box, so we're just going to copy them because they
their decks. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Matt and I are sitting here like levels above everybody else, overthinking everybody.
That's like my main issue is like I get so like since I'm so fixated on the format all the time, and like I always am thinking about the next level and the next step, and I'm always doing it. Like you guys know, like I'm always like, dude, I'm on another planet sometimes, just like talking about like, dude, SS3 with Raging Attacker Vegeta, dude, we're going back to set 1. Like we're gonna go back to set 1 with this spice right now, and like. And that's one of my weaknesses is like since I do that, I give the people in the format way too much credit.
Yep, exactly.
Like,
Which
way
that
too much credit.
was my biggest problem in a lot of games prior to this. I'm just like,
so it's like, dude, blue yellow SS3 like that deck was that deck was made for like this format that we're in right now, and like now I've gotten access to better tools, like with like Belmod and At All Cost Vegeta and stuff like that. Like but it just wasn't ready for that format.
Exactly. It's like everyone's playing X, you expect them to play Y, so you build Z.
Yeah.
But you're just like, wait,
everybody's still on like R.
Everyone,
You're just and then so it's like day 2, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play the best deck, and then I'm just gonna play Blue Red SS3, and then I was like, oh, okay, like let me 2-0 all my opponents because I know exactly how to play every single matchup because I played all of these matchups in testing like 100 times. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's a huge struggle point for me.
Welch, how has this group influenced you positively where other testing groups may not have?
I make Welch find the truth instead of going off a feeling.
This proves my point that Matt is David Duchovny, by the way.
When I say I feel, I try not to use the words I feel like. Almost never use the words I feel like. I always use this is how I see it. This is what I think. I think this.
But what's the truth, Welch? Good.
The truth is, Bobbity Black was the best deck in set 2.
You're a liar! You're a bold-faced liar!
No,
This conversation's not devolving into this.
Okay, alright, we're not gonna get... Bobbity Black was best before Mecha came out.
Stop it! It was never.
It is not the best deck, dude. It is not the best deck.
This group offers me some viewpoints that I don't necessarily get from my team. Yeah. Like East Coast meta, for instance. I get a lot of my metagame information from you guys. So having that as a resource, as well as just having a group that will take an idea and dissect it and look at every little nuance of that idea, and then they'll send it back to me with, here's what we think. That's what I really get out of this. Is
without being judgmental.
Right. Without being judgmental, correct. It's always, okay, we see your idea. We see the idea that went into this. This is our thoughts about it. Why it's good or why it's bad, and then this is what we're going to give to you. And essentially, we just go back and forth like that all the time. And if it's not me putting out a deck list for you guys, it's Matt doing it or Pat doing it, Richard doing it. We're all kind of really good deck builders as well. So having a group of really good deck builders that work together, I guess, offers you an experience that doesn't really...
and even if you're not all...
Isn't it enriched? And maybe the thing about it is, and this is, I guess, a personal viewpoint, try not to be biased about it, but I don't think that there's very many good deck builders in this game. I think there's a lot of really, really good players. I think there's less great players, and even less than that is the amount of good deck builders in this game. So,
and we have 4 of them in the same chat?
Yeah, finding a group of that is really good deck builders that see the format in auto wins, consistency, ceiling and floor, meta matchups. Having the ideas that success comes as a byproduct of consistency and efficiency, and not because success is the goal, but because consistency and efficiency is the goal, that success just naturally comes.
Correct.
Having a group of like-minded people that believe in those, I think that it's really important to have people that are very like-minded. And Richard said that we're all very like-minded, but we have subtle changes, I guess, nuances that you had said. That we all kind of have that. It's really beneficial to have a group that is like. So
there are no yes men in our group, and that's one of the reasons we're successful. I can say that I agree with someone's opinion. When I was brainstorming on the blue-red deck that I was going to play for Philly, I texted Matt last second. I'm like, what do you think what do you think of these cards? He's like, you should send this list. I put it on my Patreon. You should donate $1 to it. Wire. And these are 65 cards you should play. And I go, I like what you're doing. Some of the ratios don't make sense to me, but I like the idea. And he goes, of course you don't agree with the ratios, you're Zapp. that is why our group is successful. Because I will criticize the minute details, but I still acknowledge, the strengths of what he said. But when Matt comes and asks me a question, like he posted a list that I think he shared on his Patreon today, which you could read if you donate $1 to.
So
it's this blue-red Harudegarn list with Kaba, and I told him, hey, you know what? Straight up, this is the 50 I would start by testing. And me saying that, he knows I'm being 100% honest because there's been so many times that he's done that, and I say I don't agree with 30.
It's like it's like a bullseye. It almost never happens that everybody in this group agrees with the original 50.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude,
like,
right.
even up to the very end, everybody was like, "Why would you put Rildo in your 65?"
Right. That's
Dude,
why we
I
always
can-
end up
dude,
with like
it-
1 or
it-
2 card differences too.
Impeccable Kaba is gonna win an event. I tell you. Like I'm not even not
Yeah.
fronting. That card is
Yeah.
just
Why
straight
are you-
gas.
Look at this guy. You gotta win an event first before you give him
Yeah.
goo.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure red Tefl leader plus
You gotta do that.
plus an impeccable Kaba and like a red blue like you build like the pan deck, but you play a whole bunch of sensus and then you just swing with a 25k unnegatable double striker. Yeah,
Yeah, and you Toa to steal the free blocker.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Matt's giving away all the spice.
Yeah.
Every time.
So
Every
there's the
time.
money for the people that only watch the last 5 minutes. You know, there's the people that
Oh
get bored
my
after
God.
3 minutes and then watch the last 5.
I'm an animal, dude. I
There's
want
your
it.
hook.
I just want it more than everybody all the time.
You really do.
I do.
Like,
Okay,
I'll
so-
send you a deck- it'll be on your Patreon the next
Yeah.
day.
So, dude, I'm building some
You can see it if you donate
to
$1.
stop this, man.
Zamasu swaps.
Yeah.
Dude, no. Zapp with his Universe 11 Zamasu deck. That was
Oh
that was
my
the
God.
goo. That was the goo. Like no BS.
That deck was so fun.
Whoa, that
Yeah,
is
Okay.
no, Zapp has some really. Like, I have some off the wall stuff. Zapp has some really crazy stuff. He's like
For science. Testing it for
yeah,
science. That's the motto.
he's just like,
Right.
I'm gonna play chilled, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then he's just like, swing with leader.
Dude, he bodied you.
Yeah, he's like, swing with leader. Okay, I'm gonna combo this adult GT Goku that searches for a GT Goku when you combo
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And I was like, wait, that's a 1-cost 5k combo. Yeah, but it searches for itself. What?
Yeah.
Wait, do you have any?
He's refilling his hand.
He has no
Dude,
other
it was
targets.
so- it
He has
was
no other
so
targets.
slick.
Whatever.
I beat you with 5 colored children. That's all I need to say about that.
Dude, hey, I took a game off Pat with black green Lord Slug.
Dude, Mr. Popo is overpowered.
with 4 Popo's main deck.
Mr. Popo's
boy.
overpowered. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Play Toa and Mira every turn.
All right.
Busted.
Whatever,
Pat's
dude.
gonna have
You
an
lost
aneurysm because we're.
Dude, this man lost to John Devada. It's okay.
Dude, that deck is real. That deck was real for like half a set.
And
All
nobody
right,
played
wait.
it.
So
All right, we
Pat's
should,
gonna have an aneurysm because we're over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Everybody gets 45 seconds. Shout outs and things to keep on the lookout for that you're gonna be working on in the weeks that come.
we'll start
Pat,
with
you're
Chris
first.
again. Oh no, we do Chris because Chris is we go.
Fine. Okay, Chris.
All right, shout outs to my team, Shinron's Lair. Shout outs to you guys, Pat's Discord, Best Tech Builders. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Later, guys.
All right.
You're not working on anything at all.
Oh, yeah, I guess
I heard you write articles for
planning on-
Shenron's Lair.
I do write articles, okay, so check us out, shinronslair.com. I've written a few articles, and if you had read it maybe a month and a half ago, you might have had an LA. So just check it out, shinronslair.com. We all have the great deck builder. Actually, we're revamping the site right now, so we're going to have a huge grand reopening, I guess, coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's about it.
I'm next. I will say shout outs to Discord. Honestly, if it wasn't for Discord, we wouldn't have a platform to have these conversations. It's not something that back in the day we had. I mean, I remember coming home back in high school, having my history notebook, and I'd have like the front 4 pages would be notes for the day, and the back 15 pages would be the deck lists that I made. And I would just chew on those myself, and then I would call my friend, and we'd spend 3 hours playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On the phone, not even with screens. But now we have a platform like this where we can play test and chat and interact, and that's really shout outs to Kitchen Table Meta, the boys that helped me get to events, Danny's, the Hill Brothers, Dusty, everybody's fantastic. I'm excited to announce that I finally got my PC up and running yesterday, and webcam. I'm going to be looking forward to hopefully making some videos in the follow, because you guys don't read articles. Shame. But no, I'm looking forward to competing with some of the greatest content creators in the game. Not competing, but collaborating with some content creators in the game to hopefully leave a positive impact on the people that I get to play with, and hopefully attend more events talking about quality content. we also have Matt Coombs at 3xg.
First off, I want to get a shout out to my sponsor, Beer Collectibles, best sponsor on the planet. Alec Pastrana is
best store owner on the planet,
best shop owner in general. Overall, if you're looking to buy your sealed product, go to Beer Collectibles. Best prices on all sealed cases of the World's Martial Arts Tournament coming up. You want to get your crads, you want to get your pans, so you can play them in your sweet Champa deck. You got to get it from Beer Collectibles. But other than that, shout out to Pat's Discord, best testing team on the planet. Legitimately, the best deck builders there are, in the game right now, and a lot of the best ideas come from this group. And my success, whether if it's as a content creator, as a player, all of it's tied to this Discord and the conversations that we have on a daily basis. And I have no idea where I'd be without them. They're the ones who inspire me to continue to play this game on a daily basis. They inspire me to continue creating content. And just in general, if it wasn't for having this group of people, I wouldn't be doing any of these things right now. So you guys can thank Pat's Discord. Excuse me.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you, obviously, to all you guys, because wouldn't have had this level of success, I feel like, without you guys. As like I said, everybody is an integral part to the team. As far as shout-outs to Shenron's Lair, because they're my deck builder of choice. You guys see them in all my videos. I really like their site. Once again, shout-outs to the guys over at Warped Creations. You can get your own Yatagarasu Hirudegarn to lock your opponents out of their hand as you just ruin them. Just check those guys out on Facebook. Shout-outs to, let's see, who else? Is there anybody else I'm forgetting? I guess we could shout out to Andrew Cardis, my buddy, my best friend, my former teammate, for just being the best troll in the game right now. And then finally, I guess, shout-outs to me, because it's my birthday, officially. So.
Hey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Pat! You're welcome.
All right,
Everybody in the chat, say happy birthday to Pat.
Happy birthday, Pat! Say happy birthday.
Actually, can we take a second to give a shout-out to Bandai?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Banthony Hernandez.
I can't. The Pat's Discord NDA says I can't even use that name.
Yeah.
What about Monica or Android 16 or whatever his nickname is?
Yeah, he asked if he could be part of this group, and we said Android 16 out. And but no, seriously, like I was thinking about it the other day. Imagine being somebody that your salaried position where your goal is to make this game be as successful as possible, and you scroll through that Facebook chat for about 14 seconds, and all you see is people literally shitting on hours upon weeks upon weeks of what you do. And for as many questionable decisions as we have, there are so many more great things that group has done. That game is doing the reason
that's the reason why I'm here. Nick Botches was like, "Oh, you want to play Dragon Ball Super?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, Bandai's making it," and I was like, "Okay, sure." So that's pretty much it. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Bandai and it wasn't for the people that play this game.
But yeah, definitely if you're watching the YouTube version of this, definitely leave some comments, leave some feedback, what we can do to make these more successful. If the videos get enough views and it starts enough conversation, we would love to do this monthly, bi-weekly, weekly if it got enough steam. We just need to hear enough from the community.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. We've already got people in the chat who are asking us to do this again soon. So it's definitely something to think about. It's definitely something we'll do for sure. So yeah, with that, I guess we can wrap it up and say goodnight to all you guys. Thank you for tuning in. It was definitely a pleasure. Looking forward to doing it again in this, the near future. All right, Matt, take us away.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a good night.
Bye.